Hello. This is the teachings of the Sermon of Jesus on the Mountain. This teaching is very, very influential. This takes place in Jerusalem in 30 AD. Jesus wants his followers to be in the healing of the world, as followers hold back the evil of the world. Those who are truly committed will appear deeply into it. Jesus keeps looking at the camp as they are all gone. A very influential character is Nathanael and Judaeus and the other disciples. Nathanael is being told that his name is the only name that they can trust. He then agrees to get the land back. Judaeus is not a disciple yet, though. Peter and James is handing out a flyer about the Sermon on the Mountain to get more people to come to this important sermon of Jesus. Romans start to hear about it, though, and that's when they start to get angry, and it leads to the story of Jesus getting resurrected. Romans are the bad guys. Sermon is on the Sermon of Attitudes. Having a good attitude is always important in order to have happiness. Jesus says an important quote that says, "Blessed who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." This goes on with more, but this basically says about how Jesus will heal. Many come for the Sermon at the Mountain, though. And this is when the women of Jesus show a new wardrobe for him, as he appeared to be seeming like he blended into the rocks. Then another important character comes in, which is Mary. Mary is Jesus' mother. Mary says how she's very proud and wishes Joseph could see his good doings. Joseph died right before Jesus started, around the age of 12, and Jesus explains how he misses Joseph as well. They're going to put flyers out to invite people. He says, "Do not be anxious about your life." And this stood out to me the most. There's not a lot of good news at the time. If your right eye is causing you sin, gouge it out. But this shows how it wouldn't cause the whole population to only have one eye. Radical Shift wanted to change what's have been happening the past 1,000 years. Thinks the sermon would need an introduction, and you are the salt of the earth, which means he wants his people to hold back the evil from the world and renew it. It wasn't straightforward because he wanted it to be poetic. It will only make sense to some because he wants those that are deeply committed to understand. Keeps looking down to the camp because they have all gone. Matthew questioned Jesus and his writings, but trusts him. Now, as we talk about Matthew, let's introduce Matthew. Here's Matthew. Matthew, say hi.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
That is Matthew, yes. What did you think about Jesus' teaching of the Sermon of the Mountain?
I thought they were very motivating.
Motivating is very correct. Life is a negotiation. He says, your name will be the only name they can trust. Judaeus hasn't become a disciple yet. Right before Jesus goes on to the sermon, he has a talk with the disciples. Matthew. What did you say? Matthew. What did you say to Jesus right before he went on to the sermon?
I asked him to clarify his teachings.
Clarify teachings. Yes, that's good. Now we have Nathanael. Nathanael, what are you?
I'm an architect, and I'm determining where the sermon is going to take place.
That is really good.
It was literally like underneath the top.
We have another guest appearance. Say hi, this is Peter.
Hi, Peter.
That is Peter. You are friends with James. What are you doing?
I'm handing out flyers for the Sermon on the Mountain today.
That's really good. We had another guest appearance. So, they changed Jesus' clothing because they said he would blend in too much. What color did they choose?
Blue.
That's a really good color. My favorite color, actually. This symbolizes peace, as the Prince of Peace is Jesus. Matthew, what's one takeaway from the sermon that you got?
To love everyone.
Love everyone is good. And that's what we shall end on. Thank you, everybody.